You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in a special Zoom recording episode, joined as always by Randy Inkson. What's up, guy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, fella.
Hey,
And
fella.
bringing in a client spotlight, Evan Howard, all the way from Forward Thinking Fitness in Pennsylvania. How are you, buddy?
Doing great, Tim Meister. How are you?
Yes. You got the facial hair going? Are you growing the whole beard out?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
little scruff, I don't know, what is that called? The midnight scruff or 5 o'clock shadow?
5
one of
o'clock
the two.
shadow.
Is that it? Yeah. Just got my ears lowered a little bit, so
Oh.
I'm feeling fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you
Yeah.
guys are watching this on YouTube, check out Evan's flowy hair. It's very nice today.
It's beautiful. I've never had long hair, so this is it's a first for me, and it's not where I want it yet. But
Is this
I'll
a
get
quar-
there. Yeah,
Is this
I'll
a
get there. I'm just
quarantine? Is this like a quarantine cut here?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I've always had short hair, and I couldn't go to a salon in Pennsylvania for 4 months or get my hair cut. So I just grew it out and trying it out. See if
Looks good. Very
if I get some more
modelly.
dates my way. Thanks. Yeah.
more dates.
I hear the spirit is more plates, more dates.
More plates, more dates.
Speaking of more
Less
dates,
money.
I saw a very cool a funnel this guy built. He posted a billboard. It's a datewithleon.com, and he got picked up by a bunch of radio shows. It was opt in for a date with Leon, and then you had like an application, and within, I don't know, a week, he's had over 1,000 applications to go on a date with him. And so he's doing like Zoom call interactions and trying to get to know these girls. And he selected a couple, and they're going on dates, but he's been picked up on, local news, national news. It's pretty wild. Just put yourself out there, buddy. You can do it.
Well, you know what? I'll do it right now. Any ladies, fitness enthusiasts, I'm right here, available, single.
Dude, I can't wait.
I'm now my first feature on Built to Grow. So what's that, Randy?
Treat the wedding when it happens from the Built to Grow podcast right there.
Wow. Did we just change what we're talking about today?
A little off the rails.
All right, so let's get back on topic here, guys. For everybody that doesn't know Evan, Evan's a member of the Iron Circle, our mastermind group for ProFit. He's also done our CLA workshop. He's also doing an app himself. He's developing some tech for the fitness space. So it's a pleasure to have Evan on. The reason we asked Evan to come on is he's, I don't know if you call him a super user of the CLA, but he wanted to come in and kind of speak to people, because a lot of the things that we get when we're talking to new gym owners is how is this going to work for me? How is the automation going to help me? How is it hard to use? Is it mind body? Like I already have mind body. Does it do the same thing? And really, it's best to have somebody that's not us come in, speak to it, and and we can kind of just jive that way.
Yeah. As somebody that uses it very heavily now, I can tell you that when I first had Keep, before I met up with Tim and Randy, I did not know how to use it, and it was very intimidating to me, and I was essentially wasting my money on the services. And with your guidance, it's helped me so much with my business. It's almost indescribable, but that's not going to be helpful for the podcast. So I'll try to put it into words. So I'm really happy that we have your guidance available through the CLA workshops. I did the custom build out with you. You came out to my club and you helped me out with that the first time. And then I took that second CLA workshop just to get another good grip on it. And now I feel really comfortable building things out, and I'm doing things that you might not think of initially to use Keep and the automation for, but it's really helped me save thousands of dollars in my business expenses, which is a huge plus for me.
Well, that's really what I want to get to. So what is it doing? Like what have you seen, I guess, as a result of having automation in place for your club right now?
Yeah. So right now, as I'm sure a lot of other gym owners are struggling with, is having the full capability and full staff that maybe they used to have pre-pandemic. So right now it's myself, one other trainer, and I have a dietitian, and we went from, 5 trainers down to the 2 of us that are here
Mhm.
now. And obviously I can't afford to pay a sales team to be out here and making calls and keeping up with the constant touches that you have to have with all of the prospective clients that are you're trying to get to join your facility and your program. And what this is doing for me is, think of 3 or 4 people that you would have in a sales team doing the job for you. And it's all with a couple clicks of a button, that you set this thing up with. And to have somebody, for example, submit a contact form in our website,
Mhm.
and then turn that into, maybe they booked a consultation, maybe they didn't, depending on what their action was, the software responds to their action and guides them through the process to nurture them to book with us, essentially. And I know for me, I can't keep up with the constant touch points that I need to keep up with in order to close a sale, or even let alone bring them into the facility. And I can't keep up with the emails and the text messages and the phone calls and voicemails. All of that stuff happens seamlessly and automatically based on the user's habits and their actions, which is,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing.
What you mentioned is, and this is a common thread across people that are actually using the CLA, is not having to hire additional staff to do that job. We
Yeah.
had one gym owner that has 3 locations. He was getting ready to hire 2 new additional admins, one for his 2 new locations, and he had the current admin, and basically decided against hiring 2 new people because the CLA, the client lifecycle automation, is doing the work of what those admins would have been doing. And
Yeah.
so, at a time where we're trying to reduce expenses and we're trying to reduce staff and overhead and everything else, I think you nailed it. Maybe you don't have the funds to pick up a new employee. Well, you invest in this one time and it pays you over and over every single week, every single month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hands down, without a doubt. And, think of this also as complete accountability for your business. Instead of relying on a salesperson to follow through with their work, the automation does it, regardless of how it's feeling that day or what it chooses to do motivation wise. It does the work for you. You don't have to worry about relying on maybe somebody who isn't.
That's a good point too. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially, you're almost always operating with your best foot forward in a way. You know what I mean? You can remove that human element to a degree. Not obviously, this isn't AI. It's not like we're talking to a computer. Everything is human based, right?
It's
The
scripted.
emails, the text. Yeah, it's scripted, right? It's off of us providing that in the first place. But you do the work once, and the system replicates that anytime that individual sits in that seat. And so I love that aspect. And then, are you going back through now using the reporting and the data that you're collecting as people move through that? Do you consistently tweak and edit and make changes to, specific emails, voicemails, things like that to increase the effectiveness of that campaign as well?
I do, yeah. So I like to look at the open rates and the response rates, click-through rates for all the emails. I'm taking a look and seeing who is responding to the automated text messages or maybe the automated voicemails, and sometimes just tinkering slightly with the text or what you're saying in the voicemail will lead to a much better response rate, and then obviously a show rate, which is what you want. You want somebody to be in front of you when, is obviously the main goal. And then that way you can close them when you're at the club.
Yeah, what I really want to hammer home here is, for anybody that's listening, is this is a system, something that we kind of pride ourselves when we're working with gym owners, is that we can have a system that you can duplicate over and over and over. And the reason we do that it's like 20 reasons, but it's consistency. It's also sending the same message at the same time to the right person.
Yep.
One thing that we just actually did yesterday, me and Randy, I was looking at one of our campaigns for ProFit, and I noticed there was it started at like 30% open rate, 20, 25, 20, and it got down to like, low 20s. And then it shot back up to 35% on one email in the middle of this campaign, like a week and a half later. And I started looking at why, like, what was it? And I looked at the subject line, and I looked at nothing seemed different, because if you're looking at an open rate, what do? You look at the subject line and maybe the pre-header text, and then the day of the week and the time. When did this email get sent that was different than the other ones? And this turned out this particular email was sent at a completely different time than all the prior emails. And that was the clue that said, okay, 2:30 on this Wednesday date when this one was sent, this is a prime time for this audience. And so what do we do? We tweaked a couple of the emails in front of it, and we're going to continue to watch. But if you don't have a system, you have an admin that's calling these people in between sessions or when they get a chance or they miss one. I mean, there's no way you can optimize a campaign that way. There's no way.
Yeah. It's impossible to track it. It's impossible to be consistent with it. You know, before I had this system, I would try and call prospects at 9 o'clock at night when I was done with my sessions, and who was going to pick up the phone then? And I do love the consistency of it too, and being able to schedule those emails and those voicemails at those better response rate time of days. I certainly see better consistency with some than others. And then of course your grab, your hook, you know, that headline in the subject email is super important too. Tweaking with that can make a major difference.
And there's not a whole lot of platforms that can do it down to that. So, you know, I've looked at a lot, Club Ready, Club OS, you know, Active Campaign and things like this. And there's very few, if any, that can say, I want to send this message on a given Wednesday in September and November at between 8 a.m. and 10 at night or whatever. You can't do that in any other software other than Keep. I mean, Keep it can drill down and say, I want to send this email the first Tuesday in September at 7 a.m. Like that's
to only these people, you know,
to only these people. Like that right there should tell you guys, like, wait a minute, there's more to this marketing game than what I, you know, send an email out every morning at 6 a.m. kind of thing. Right.
Yep.
There's more to it.
You know, it's all based on that consumer behavior is how it's operating, which is amazing.
And again, we're if you take the human element and you only have the human element, how can you create and duplicate the consistency? It's literally impossible. Let's be honest. Nobody's going to do that every single time.
Yeah, and you know what's been really awesome to also develop, aside from just your CLA workshop that you run, we've developed a Black Friday campaign. I generated $26,000 last year from that campaign alone.
That sucks.
And it's really awful. So, I mean, so there's different things you can do, specific dates, you can do specific length of time from a consumer action or behavior. It's just, it's almost limitless in terms of what you can put together.
And speaking of, like, let's talk about Black Friday for a second. I think this year's Black Friday campaign is going to be a little different. I really do. I think the consumer behavior and the fact that more people are shopping from home and more retailers are going to be full blast out there in the marketplace. If you're running well, first off, I'm going to throw this out there. We don't have a date for this yet, but I'm going to do a Black Friday campaign, and it's going to be gangbusters. We're going to have text messaging and voicemail drops and emails, and we're going to do a little bit different play. And I'm almost thinking we need to run this thing November 1st, all the way to the end of November. I think we need to beat the retailers out of their own game, because I think the retailers are going to be, you know, if you remember, like 10 years ago, let's take it back 10 years ago when Black Friday was Black Friday, and no stores or shops were open on Thanksgiving until the Friday after, and like maybe at midnight or maybe like 5 a.m. they would open the doors. And then it became midnight, and then it became Thanksgiving night at 5 p.m. we're going to open. Then it became, we're not even closing Thanksgiving, we're just going to be open Thanksgiving. And now the Black Fridays are starting the week before. Like, what are we really doing? Is Black Friday, for everybody that doesn't know what the term Black Friday is from, it was probably, I don't know how long ago, but it was the date that retailers can count on to get them out of the red and into the black. It was get them to a profitable stance, you know, for their company, and they would do it on a specific date. And that's where the term Black Friday became, because if you look at a P&L sheet, all your negative numbers are in red and your positive numbers are in black. And so Black Friday is Black Friday, but now it's not Black Friday. Now it's going to be Black November, and it's going to be basically
Yeah.
the whole month is going to be the sale.
Consumerism. Well, here, let's talk to one additional benefit to this as well. Years past and going into this year, something that we'll be doing that if you don't have the CLA or if you don't have a solid email platform, you really are left out. We don't have to, like we talked in the past, we don't have to go and acquire new leads, or we don't have to market our Black Friday sales necessarily. We already own that traffic. So I know that we're going to push heavy in an email campaign or to our current lists. We don't have to compete with everybody else in the advertising space at the most expensive time of year to market new sales, for new sales.
Mm-hmm.
So when everyone else is out there just figuring out what they're going to do when it comes to an advertising platform, we already own the traffic. So we're one step ahead of everybody else. I mean, they're all going to be spending big money to acquire new, to compete coming November. I think we're far, far ahead of that game because, I mean, years past, our clients have done, $40, $50, $60, $80,000 in a single weekend with Black Friday without any advertising. That's huge.
Without any paid advertising.
Paid advertising.
Right. Absolutely. You nailed it. We had a podcast a few episodes ago about owning your traffic. And this is what we're talking about. Having a contact list that you own, that lives and keep, that you can market to for free at any given time. Now, the strategy around how you market effectively around a Black Friday, that's where strategy comes in. You're going to have a strategy. You can't just do an email broadcast and hope for the best. Right. There's a whole process to this, and we're going to build onto it this year. And the fact that we have text messaging and voicemail automation involved in it this year, I can see these numbers going from your Evan's 26,000 to, $75,000, $100,000 over a let's just call it a month. We're just going to shoot for the whole month. And, we should shoot for 100,000. Because let's be honest, we don't know what 2021 holds. We have elections coming up in November. Who knows what crazy screwballs are going to get thrown at us in
murder hornets.
January of next year when the new president takes over or the same president takes a second term. We don't know, right? So let's capitalize right now when we know people are ready, willing, and able to buy. Let's maybe pre-sell some of our 2021 revenue now. Let's get it now in our accounts, in our businesses, so we can be in a better place come January. Like, that's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
100%.
So if you guys want to get in on the Black Friday, stay tuned because we're going to probably launch something, workshop sometime in October because we got to be way ahead this year. We just have to. I think retailers are going to come out guns a-blazing coming out for this online retail space. So that's automation. So Evan, what other things? Obviously, we've got the long-term nurture thing that's happening within your automation. Do you use it at all yet internally? Have you maybe onboarded staff or created anything internally, task reminders or other things?
I have done one little bit of that, but since I lost my employees, I have to go back in and redesign it a little bit. But yeah, it's great for that too. Like because every year you're doing similar things. Maybe you add in a little bit of flair, but if you set it for those dates year after year, you're never going to forget to send out a birthday card for your client. You're never going to forget to send out a holiday card for your clients. You'll never forget to order the banner that you need for the sale that you're going to run. So all of those things you can do, just those task reminders, or if I need one of my staff to do something specific to help me out with some of those things, they'll get an email at a specific time and day. So that way, I know that they're following through with what I need them to help me with for the business.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here, Evan. So get your thinking cap on. You've been using the CLA for probably in full blast. How long? Like since you built it, but were you really using it yet?
Really using it January.
Okay.
January of this year.
So we're in September.
I really dived into it. Yeah.
What would you say monetarily wise that it's helped you generate I mean, obviously you're the person that has to close the deal in person or on the phone,
Sure.
but having that in place, what do you think it's generated for you over those 9 months?
So I'd say that, most of our clients spend about 2 to 3 years with us on average. So you're taking that lifetime value of a client, $3,000 to $6,000 a year, give or take.
Okay.
So I would say that we've brought in, March, we were crushing it. And then we kind of got
Yeah.
put on hold for 4 months here. So I'm carrying the two. No, I would say that easily it would have generated me just this year alone, not taking into account the longevity with clients continuing after their first year. I would say it generated about 50 grand in revenue
Okay.
for us, give or take,
Nice.
and that's just in the first year. Like, think of it as they're only staying here for 1 year.
Okay.
With those
So
clients.
you use it for another year, maybe you bring in another 50 to 80 grand, and then you put
Yeah.
the original 50 on top of it, 130,000. It just keeps growing, right? So you paid for it
Yeah.
once, and really, if you're talking software costs, this is just kind of a cost of doing business. It's 99 bucks, 99 to $200, somewhere like that a month. So if you're curious about that, you're gonna want to go through us for a lot of reasons. Number one,
Mhm.
we can get you the text messaging that's not available to the general population. But two, we get a better price and we get you more contacts and more users for less. So if you're interested in Keep, just, put a link there, Randy, in the show notes of some type to get a hold of us. We can get you set up with that. So very cool, Evan. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Now I kind of want to talk a little bit. I want to shift gears a little bit, maybe talk a little bit about this app that you're calling the 360 app. If I correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, the
Yep.
360 app. Okay. So the 360 app, and I've teased on it. I've said, hey, we got this guy's developing this app. And it's basically done at this point. You've been using it. Ours is close to being done, right? You're building
Yep.
ours. I think we're your first client on that level.
Yes,
We're going
sir.
to be using this for Pulse Fitness. And now you've decided, hey, it's working. Let's open this up to maybe some more gyms, right? So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about what it is, the app. Like, give everybody the overview.
Yeah. So when I first started this year, back in January, I was super hyper focused on the client experience. And, like every other gym, like yourself, like mine, I'm sure a lot of other people listening, you use your InBody to get your body composition measurements. You use MyZone for the heart rate data. You use MindBody for the scheduling. Maybe you have another separate MindBody branded app for the scheduling on top of that. And what I was finding is when I would close a sale and get a new client, I'd have to hook up 4 or 5, 6 different apps onto their phone just to get them ready to work out with us. And it felt super clunky to me. Like, okay, Susie, let's download this app and then let's do this. And, oh, we got to set up that. So for me, my intention was to offer a solution for gyms that utilize a lot of the same things that we do. A lot of folks use MindBody, InBody, and MyZone. And so we've branded our own app around those 3 technologies. And all of that data, all of the interaction, everything takes place in one central spot for the clients. And, it's super powerful to have your brand being elevated into really competition with the big guys, right? Your Orange Theories and your whoever else has an app out there. They invested a lot of money into these things, and it's cool to be on a parallel and in a lot of cases out beating that competition with the sophistication of the app that we've developed. So it's not really just scheduling and them seeing their MyZone data. We also have the food logging. We have about 1 million food items that people can either scan or log into their app. The trainers and the staff can see the client's food logs for the days and the weeks. It counts the macronutrients. You have a prescribed workout section of the app as well, which is awesome. So like for us, we've been sending the workout that's prescribed for the client based on their level. the night ahead of time. So the next day they come in, they have a general idea of what they're doing, just to help with the preparation in terms of training people in person and online at the same time. So that's helped us out to just streamline things. And then Perkville is in there too. So if anybody uses Tim's amazing idea in terms of that extrinsic rewards program, that's built into it. We have our levels up to our unicorn at the end.
Yeah.
And it's neat because they can redeem their points and earn their points all within the app, and it's just it's really slick not having to have so many different
and I'd imagine
softwares
you
in
can
their
do
phone.
the referral. They can do the referral right from the app too.
Referral right from the app. There's a chat feature for clients and staff alike. You can talk to each other, so it eliminates, if you don't want to hand out your phone number, your cell phone to a client, just message me through the app and I'll get it that way.
Nice.
And so it's yeah.
Guys, if you tuned into last episode that we just talked about, how hard is it for clients to do business with you? This plays into that, right? Evan was seeing 6 or 7 different apps to download, and it was real clunky. It's difficult to do business with you. And so he's developed this app that brings everything into one place, and bada boom, bada bing, it's all there. The client's got one place to go. And I like that. And I also like the message board that you have. You almost have like an announcement bulletin board feature in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The news feed. Yeah. Because how many times have you guys sent out an email, made a Facebook post, made a Facebook group post, sent out a mass text, and your clients still don't know what the heck is going on in your club?
All
right?
the time.
I mean,
everyone. Yeah.
all the
everyone.
time, right? So
Today.
This is just another way to take information that you need to get to people. And it's the first thing they see when they log in to our app. They see the news feed, the newest post, and that way they're hopefully engaged and a little bit more aware.
Genius. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. Something that we're investing in with you, and we're going to jump in and be one of your customers there. But yeah, that goes into how, difficult is it for somebody just to do business with you, and that nails it right there. So well done.
There's another aspect too. I mean, back to our where we were forecasting like the direction we think the fitness industry is going to go or is going. We talked about data making being more prevalent in the training itself. And this is exact. I mean, you have it right there at your fingertips. The client sees it right away. There's no, it's done in a way where it almost removes the need for like the fitness professional to be the translator. You know what I mean? Like your end user sees the results, sees the data. They know that it's working its way back into the programming and effectively just, securing greater results for the client.
100%. Yeah, we have our physical assessments in there, and we customize it to the client. So Tim does things a little bit differently than I do at my club, and him and his director Zach asked for a bunch of features, and we just threw it in for him, and that's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great to have one place. And yes, the bulletin board or the news feed, you're calling it the announcement. You can do push notifications. I like the chat feature. I mean, everything's in one place. And that's really the bottom line. Let's get all the data into one place for a customer, a consumer, a gym member can go in and scroll through there and see their numbers, see what their workouts are, look at their MyZone data, look at their InBody data, see if they're tracking. And that's all populated there. And then on the back end, the gym has a dashboard feature where you can go in and look at different clients and things like that. So it's great. So we're talking tech on this one. I mean, Evan's a big tech nerd. Like we like it. We like the automation. Yeah. He's bringing in the app side of it. So I think we got a home run here with a couple different aspects. So, and at the end of the day, what are we trying to do? Customer experience. And we're trying to be more profitable as a business, keep your clients longer, all great things. None of this stuff that we're talking about here today, guys, either with the CLA and the automation or Evan's app is fluff. There's a reason behind every single thing that we're doing. It's not just, sometimes in companies, and I've been in companies before, that you would do something, but you would never use that data. We were just doing it to do it. Like if there's not a reason to do something, then don't do it. Don't waste your time. If you're not going to use that information for something, or if it doesn't bring a customer closer to a goal or a customer closer to doing business with you, is it really necessary? So that's helping streamline some of the operational stuff. So very cool.
And both of these are platforms that are going to elevate you. Like Evan was even talking. I mean, like it's going to put you in the mix with the big guys. You know, big brands, corporate. You know, big money pocket. You know, big deep pockets for a reason. These guys spend money on things like this because it does move the needle in their business, and to be able to utilize that with something that, you know, Evan's built, and, you know, the CLA that Tim's built, and really, I mean, these are the business moves, the business decisions. This is how you take your business into the next level. I mean, Tim and I talk about it all the time. Systems are some of the most prevalent, crucial aspects of the business. You know, it's not a kettlebell training course. It's not going to happen at a, you know, you attended another summit. Like while they're all crucial and they're all aspects of moving, you know, the business forward, these are where the biggest gains are made. And I think that unfortunately a lot of people overlook this because it seems kind of foreign, maybe, right? It's not something that's necessarily, when you step into the fitness business, you know, it's not a must. It's not a requirement like, you know, a certification should be. But at the end of the day, this is going to differentiate, you know, the mom and pop, you know, solopreneur in the mix thing versus taking a brand and elevating it and being able to dominate the industry in your local, you know, area. And then hopefully, you know, duplicate that process elsewhere.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
1000%.
1000%.
Yeah, I mean, both the CLA and the app are good too for not just new client acquisition, but think about all of your past clients that left and, you know, something happened and they had to quit for a little bit. You're constantly in that nurturing cycle through the CLA. Most people don't delete their app from their phone. It just kind of sits there. So they're still getting my push notifications that I send out. So just that constant, you know, those constant touch points between all these systems. And I really can't say enough about how important it is to invest in these things so that you don't miss out on lost money, you know, or potential money. You know,
it's hard.
clients.
It's hard enough as it is without this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? To just get a client and keep them. It's hard enough. Why not bring the tools in to help you do the heavy lifting, and you guys can just manage the tools. And again, at the end of the day, we always kind of point back to this. If you were to ever sell your business in the future, you have these systems in place. It's just more appealing and more attractive to the new buyer that says, okay, I come in and just use the tools that they already got in place. And maybe, you know, they come with the business purchase. So leveraging the systems that you already have in your business. If you don't have systems right now and somebody comes in to buy your business or you're looking to sell, they're going to look at your operations and say, well, I've got to do all this other stuff. Or now I'm just buying myself a job as a new owner because you're doing everything yourself. You don't have any automation. You don't have any tools. You don't have any systems in place. They might walk away from that purchase. And so even if you're never going to sell your business, I always recommend building your business as if you were going to sell it, because it's going to run more efficiently without you in that seat. If ever anything were to happen, or if you want to just move on to something else, you can replace yourself, still own the business, and do something else. So it's that important, guys. Start taking your gyms seriously and start changing your mindset from this is a hobby to this is a business. We need to treat this business professionally, and that goes with systems as well as operation. You need to take a little bit better, harder look. And unfortunately, in the fitness space, it's not too common. It's not too common. Right. You know, you've got that trainer, technician type person running the operation that's never really looked at it from the business side, and they're the one doing everything. And it's just, you're really limiting yourself. So that's what this podcast is about. We want to help you win. You got tools through the CLA, you got tools through Evan's app. I mean, there's help out there. Just reach out to us, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. So Evan, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little insight.
Thanks for having me.
Evan, if somebody wants to get a hold of you for the app, what's a good email, or what's the best way to reach out to you?
It'd be evan@trainftf.com.
I'll put that in the show notes.
You could throw that in the notes there. But once we have Tim's version done, we're going to bake out a landing page. So people who are interested, I'll do an online demo with them and make sure that, you know, you really understand the full experience of the the app and get cracking. So all these things are great, guys. You know, you have to think of it as, do you want to spend more time doing the things that can be done for you when you're not working, or do you, want to have more time to do other things? That's really what it comes down to. And these systems are in place to help you have more freedom, which is really great as a business owner.
Perfect. Yep. Good closing remark. Evan, thanks for joining us. Randy, as always. Until next time, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye.